All right. Yeah, yeah. So, and a lot of us have been to Lahaina, the area where that was like affected. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not only that, but it's just also like the west side of the Big Island was also on fire, and I mean, it still kind of actually is. Like the wildfires are still happening. So it's just been so, and like I said, like either someone knows someone has like that lives there who was affected or who's been there, like everyone. So
Well, my girlfriend,
yeah.
remember I said she lost her house.
Oh my gosh.
And she is in France right now.
My goddess.
And she got word that everything is gone. I mean, at least she wasn't there. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to find out that you are in a different country, to know that your home is gone.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
It's homes. I mean, it's literally lives, right? Lives, homes, jobs. A lot of people, I mean, it's just so devastating. You know what I'm saying? It's just so devastating. And like, so for me, like when it, like I said, it started on Lionsgate.
Mm-hmm.
And
what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on the Lionsgate using that as the portal for darkness to attack the islands? Because there's a lot of talk about that, and I wanted to ask your opinion.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So from my perspective and from with the guides and the work that I'm doing with them and what we're doing, so I don't focus on that. We don't look at that, right? So
Right.
For me, that's more of like a fourth dimensional thing. Now, is it happening? Probably, maybe, I don't know, but I know they don't like to focus on those energies. They just like to focus on the heart of the matter, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about and the gate work that's actually going on. So I am seeing a whole nother dimension and reality of what's occurring. With the Stargates, there's a lot going on with the gates. There's a lot going on. So they're just talking about global transformation, what's happening globally, the parts of humanity that's awakening. There is a lot of again, this is a Lemurian thing. There's a lot of Lemurian energies that are flowing through the Stargate. Okay, there you go. So the guys are saying, so the Lemurian part of our lineage and our DNA is awakening. It's waking up. Lemuria, Lemuria is coming through so strongly. So that's the part that I'm aware of what's happening with, again, with the gates and with Maui and the energies that are coming through, and that's part of this grand Lemurian awakening from what I'm aware of.
Yeah. Thank you, because and that's something that I was seeing is a lot of people highlighting and focusing on the actual chaos.
Yeah.
And whether they're doing it for likes, because I know there's some for that.
Right, totally.
That I chose to unfollow.
Yeah.
Or, to just bring a greater awareness. It doesn't matter. What's bringing is, that upheaval, that anger, all the lower densities. And, when you get swallowed up, and it was really interesting because I had a session with a client. And what came forth from the Palladians is,
wow,
one can choose to focus on continuing the dream, or one can choose to wake up and start another. And I think the message was so clear. It's each and every one of us has a choice as to how we are going to work within these crystalline temples, how we're going to direct our energy, right? Because if we keep keep
Yeah.
feeding into the negative narrative, right? Nothing is going to change. We have to let go of the, as you were saying, the old concepts, the paradigms, because these stargates, and we talked about this before, this activation point, like we are a stargate ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So funny that you say that, because yesterday I was having a chat with a friend, and the guides came in, and again, it's just a huge focus, like this Lemurian energy, and they
Mhm.
were guides were saying that yes, we are literally we are the stargates. We are like crystalline temples. Like our body is the literal temple for these higher realities and these higher energies to come through. So like a lot of the times we may not even realize this, you know what I mean? But like the energy, like the love that's moving through it, like these are coming from like the higher realities. Like, and of course that's us, but it's like another us, you know what I mean? Like another us. But yeah, but that's them. So we're walking around like these stargates, constantly channeling, bringing in all these energies, these codes, these frequencies, and these realities, these higher realities, higher timelines that are moving through us, these vessels that we are on planet Earth. These,
Yeah. And I
yeah,
think, we had talked about this, and I had talked about the expansion. Like I
yeah,
almost saw like our spines expanding as our DNA, the sacred geometric shapes and structures change. This is, what we had talked about, that the higher frequency streams, we must be in alignment to that in order to anchor it down as a stargate into these stargates for activation, into the crystalline core of the earth, the mother hub, in order for it to move effortlessly. And it's interesting when I say that, because I see
yeah,
these soft Lemurian colors, and this softness requires higher light, higher intelligence, and a softness within our hearts. It doesn't respond
yeah,
to, almost like, and I know it's the energy that causes anger and aggression. It's different for me.
right,
Like it doesn't feel, it's really jittery like this. The Lemurian is very soft, it's very receptive, it's very
yeah,
like open and fluid, and this is, I think, a reminder for us to
yeah,
just, as hard as it is,
yes,
to witness this and remain in our hearts and work that way, rather than pointing the finger at it's this, it's that, it's your fault, right? Because everything is a co-creation based on the vibrational footprint, the frequency of it. I can hear your guide saying something. What?
I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. Also, right. So they were also saying that Maui, the gates, like we are humanity's being called forth. The ones that are here, they're already awakened, but everyone is being called forth, and there's so much. Like this is intentional. You know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of like there's so much, like the love that's pouring in through the collective is necessary. Like that was needed, like for whatever reason, however the way that it's coming in, but it's like that was important for us to, like, yeah, the open hearts and to be here, and yeah, the support, and like I said, and yeah, all the like love that's coming through, and just everything that you were saying as well. Just and I also just want to touch base on the idea that, like, yeah, because the energy is just so, it is very like yin and very feminine, very pristine, very pure, and the thing with what humanity is going through is like the purge, you know what I'm saying? Because to allow these frequencies to come through. And for a long time I was having such a hard time with that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's just like so much density that just needs to be let go, you know? So, and I don't mean to like whatever, but like, so the other thing about it is what the messages that the guides have been really emphasizing is like the chaos that humanity, like that we experience, like even on a personal level, collective level, whatever, like it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's there. We're going through a transformation. We're literally going through a literal transformation. So when you're going through difficult, challenging times, it's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're literally, it's and it's divine and it is in alignment. That doesn't mean we're not in alignment. You know, it
Yeah,
doesn't mean we're not on the path or we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. It just means that we're allowing more of this love to come through, and the old reality structures, consciousness, ego is just being let go, basically. So yeah.
exactly. And I think that, that message that came through during one of my sessions with a client, that whole like, we have a choice. Like, yes, this is happening to us, but how much longer do we allow it to continue? Because we choose how much energy we are giving into it. And there's so much energy on, I have to do this for my karma. I have to clear my karma. I have to clear this relationship with this. But what if you could just look at it and say, we're just not in alignment anymore. And I wish you all the best, and leave it at that and look at that as the next chapter in our soul's evolution.
Tell me
And
about it.
right? I mean, as humans, it's this letting go of the conditioning that we have to fix everything.
It's so much. It's so much stress. It's so much trauma. It's so much it's so much everything, like bullshit, basically at this point. And like, I don't know. Like, I'm grateful for the work that we're doing and just like holding the space and anchoring the energy. And it's a lot of work. It's it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility. And it's not for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? It's not for the faint of heart. And it requires so much love, so much trust. And thankfully we have the understanding, the awareness that there is. I mean, but even then, we don't always know that there's a bigger picture. Like there's something, it's beyond our comprehension and understanding sometimes. And and although we can get upset and frustrated, it's just like, we got to keep going. But anyways, with that being said, like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, like I just want, I don't know, like, like something. I just want to do something to help people to be more, to understand more of like, I guess like that's part of what we're doing, you know what I mean? Just like with the work, but like, I just want to, like, what can we do to make it easier for everyone? You know what I mean? I don't know, just to be more in that energy, just to be more in the heart and to be more present, the understanding. It's just the letting go. Like,
I think that was, and I keep coming back to, I keep hearing them go,
yeah,
and seeing them go like this, like when our nervous system is and centered, and we remain in that, we remain the pillar, we remain anchored in it, we then hold that vibration and we hold that in our aura, and just through that, holding that space for people, right, that can help shift the frequency. And honestly too, it's just like we have to let go of trying to help everyone and everything.
That's true,
right?
Yeah.
It's like if that person chooses, it's like what they were saying about the dream state.
Right.
You can go to bed and continue to redream the nightmare or whatever it is. But if you make a conscious choice to say, I'm done with this. I don't want to, go through this whole process again. It's conscious awareness, conscious change, and intentional connection through the heart. That's what it's about. And I think letting go of all the trauma and stories that we have collected over lifetimes, the imprints of how it should be. This is a full-on surrender.
Yeah, it's so big.
And yeah, like you were saying, to hold that is huge. And I know we talked about how, there could be days where we're just laid out.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah, no,
and I'm glad that we're talking about this because, when I started on the journey, no one told me how it was gonna be. Like I just thought, oh yeah, you just wake up one day and you're like, woo, like love and light and energy and healing, blah blah. Like it's an actual journey. Like it's actually,
it's an initiation.
Hey, thank you. Right? It's an actual like a process of like letting go. It's so much letting go, and it could be so overwhelming and stressful for the human. You know what I mean? And because of like who we thought we are, who we think we are, what I mean, it's so the conditioning is real, and that's another thing about the work that that's been coming through lately. It's just like the whole oh my goddess girl, like since I don't know, I don't even like the last time we chatted, but like through the gateway and everything. Um yeah, it's just the thing is like the guys and I'm realizing is the programming is run so deep. It is so deep to the point. I mean, it's so steep in the subconscious, the unconscious that most of the things like we don't even have any like idea and for most humans like it takes a lot of work to bring in that awareness that that everything but for most people it's like we have absolutely no idea like how deep this goes and I don't know and I just want to just bring light into that because and just so I guess the point is just like yeah so it's like it's not the easiest path, you know what I'm saying? It just compassion, just having compassion for ourselves and everyone else. Because it's a lot. It's a lot of love, it's a lot of healing, it's a lot of letting go, it's a lot of releasing,
Yeah.
The energies.
And we talked about this, about letting go of the letting go in order to be guided. And, that's one of the things we talked about our journey into the deep connection with the guides is having to let go of how it should be, right? And allow the guidance to unfold naturally.
Thank you for that.
Like when we get in our heads,
right.
it takes away from the purity.
Okay, you know what? I'm just
gonna close my door 1 second. The dogs have spoken.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back.
So much love and gratitude. And the thing is for me is okay, like I said, for me, what's really important is to show people and to express all sides of the journey. Like I'm very passionate about it. Because like I said, when I first started, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just thought it was just all this one side, just all love, just easy bliss, and that's it. But it's like I want people to know it's like, like I'm going through, I go through stuff too. Like we're all going through stuff.
Yeah. 1000%.
You know what I mean? But people don't realize that and they just see what we see on social media, and all the pretty and the beauty and the gorgeousness that we see on the outside. But I just want everyone to know it's like you're not the only one. And I just want people to know like, and we've done a lot of work and I'm so grateful for that and like where I'm at, blah, blah, but it wasn't easy getting here. Like it was not easy to come into the space of love, to be in gratitude, to be happy and to be, and to accept for acceptance. And that was a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I just want people to know like, yeah, and for myself, and when I go through stuff, I love to share that. I love people to know like, oh, I'm going through something. Like it's not, I'm going through, a tough time or whatever, and it's not easy for me right now. It's because like that, I feel like that's really important for people to understand that it's not always going to be, love, light, and unicorn.
Yeah, sunshine and rain.
It could be, yeah.
Right. It's so true. It's like taking another step on the ladder.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to step back down in order to rise again. This whole thing was just straight up. I remember being in a meditation class. This was years ago, like probably 16 years ago. And there was a message that came through for me, and I'm just bringing it through right now. And it was the symbol of Jacob's ladder. And, you know, the whole initiation towards ascension.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's all that saying, if someone's all shiny and has it all figured out and they've already, they're there.
I mean, right. I mean,
Are they really? Or is that an illusion?
Right.
Beware of the shiny things.
That's so funny. It's true. And I mean, I guess, and also the point is like, we're human. We're human beings. We're human beings. And it's funny because like, yeah, so early, the guys are reminding me like, yeah, so it's a journey, it's expansion and contraction. Like that's breathing. Like that's just how that's how it works. That's how the universe works. We breathe, you know, in and out, inflow, out. Inflow, outflow. So I guess I just say all this just like I said, just to like let everyone know, like all is well, everything is fine. You know, we're going through what we're going through. It's a global initiation, global transformation, and what's really happening at the core is we're just moving to higher states of everything. You know, that's it. Embodiment. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I also feel like no, it's true. And I also feel like this isn't something that I feel like this is going to carry into 2024, because when I tuned in before, this is something that we're going to start to see change in 2025. But like we still need to purge, deep purging on the planet. So
we're doing a lot of that, aren't we? So with that being said, I feel like we could definitely bring in some codes and some activations, at least, you know, relevant to this conversation to support that. Whether we're, you know, in general. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I'm just pulling, it's so funny. I'm just pulling, you know how I have some like cards that
nice.
It's really interesting because as I'm speaking, I'm pulling cards, and the card that came forth is emotional healing. It says, as your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings of love. Isn't that?
That just kind of made me a little emotional.
And I feel like that too. It's like almost like a deep acceptance. Like we must accept it. You know, and I think that's something that we're going through too. Is like when we're letting go of these old patterns and old conditions, you have to allow yourself to truly love who you are and accept all aspects of self in order to receive the blessings, the riches that are coming to you. Because, you know, myself, it's happened to me. And I know that when I've worked with people one-on-one, that if something comes to them, they can push it away because they feel like they're not deserving of receiving perhaps, you know, a relationship, or like, I don't deserve this, you have it. And that's something too, that recondition of allowing new blessings of love and abundance to come in. What shows up for you in that?
That's a big one. That's a big one. Allowing and accepting. Just sit with that for a moment. Just like letting that just come in, because like, and knowing that we are deserving and we're worthy. You know what I mean? Because there's layers to it. Because I'm just like, okay, universe, I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's this? And it's just like they're always showing me something new, which is so interesting. Because I'm like, okay. I'm like, first they're like, okay, love yourself, you know? Oh, and I want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, let's talk about that right. Yeah. So since the Lionsgate and since everything that's been occurring, so the guides have been, which is so wild, but it's almost like going back to basics, going back to 0 point, going back to center. And, you know, we've been doing a lot of work. I've been doing a lot of work, and I've been focusing on so many different things. Just like, okay, like whether it's like, I don't know, maybe it's manifestation, or maybe it's like abundance, or maybe it's this and that third. But the guys were like, let's bring it back to love, self-love, self-love. This literally self-love is like this is okay. So there's like navigating energy, just reorienting, restructuring, the energies, the realities, the awareness, everything. But self-love is what it is. It all comes back down. Like literally is like the root of like literally everything. Like self-love. And when I first woke up, so Yeshua I work with, he's like basically my main guide, like whatever. So in the beginning, I can get emotional talking about this, but he was like, like unconditional, like, well, love for self, that's like that service, that's Christ consciousness. Like that's, and then there's again that segues into the Lemurian, but self-love, like that's literally the epitome of like that's ascension. Self-love, like that's where that's multidimensional reality. Like that's how everyone operates. Like humans are the only ones that don't work like that.
Yeah, and it's that whole saying, like we like the chalice, like we have to fill ourselves up. We have to become that sacred chalice.
That's it.
Right. So
right.
We can't expect others when we have not allowed it within ourselves.
Thank you.
And not even that, but to see it, to feel it, to know it, to believe it.
Right. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much. Because loving the self literally clears and washes, just everything just dissolves. The ego, the fear, the insecurity, the trauma, everything just all washes away, because like that's essentially like the basic structure of reality. It's like love. So if we don't love ourselves, how are we going to do anything?
What's our reality going to, co-create for us, right? Based on those lower vibrational prints of not enoughness. I'm not deserving of this, so let's co-create this to validate this experience for me.
Right. So thank you. So so going like, going back to what I was saying about that. So I just wanted to share that, but so self-love. So going back to self-love, and it's like, okay, I get it. So self-love, and then yes, love yourself, and then with that, yes, allowing. You have to allow. We do have to allow, because it's our responsibility to let those energies come. You know what I'm saying? It's like and that goes to show how powerful we are. How powerful we are, that we literally are fully responsible and fully create literally every single thing. 100,000%. Like, wow. It's incredible.
I just want to share some cards that came through when you were talking.
Can't wait.
It's really interesting. So it's about, it says, express your individuality. And I think this is part of self-love, is allow your true self to shine, because you're amazing. And this is part of, when others, this is that conditioning that you're not good enough. So then the change is to be something for someone else rather than self. So the message in part of this emotional healing that is part of self-love, is being your true, authentic, radiant self. Okay. And then we were talking about letting go. So the card that came forth is walking away. And it's all about leave unhealthy situations and enjoy new opportunities as a result. And this is about what we are talking about stop trying to fix it, accept what is, and say, be at that place where you can say, I've done all that I can. Maybe we're just on different, we're on different paths, we're on different frequencies.
Exactly.
Right? This whole with trying to make something work. If someone has tried to make something work for years and they're beating themselves up because they feel they're not good enough, these are toxic relationships. And this is about healing the divine feminine aspects, the divine masculine aspects, being in toxic relationships. Part of it is, you know, really truly loving yourself and knowing that it's okay to let go. And it's okay to walk through a new door.
Yes.
And you know, the stargate of the heart.
Oh my goddess.
Heart chakra is opening, unlocking the gateway. And the last card is your desire is in reach. Have faith, everything is working out. And I think those cards came in divine order. Can't make this.
Yeah. Just,
Right?
you're all the guest. Thank you, ma'am. That was like a personal reading, honey. No, just kidding. I love that. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that, because that is so relevant. That is so on brand. It's like so the theme.
It's within myself too. I mean, we're reflecting one another, right? Like,
you know what
as, I mean? As we deepen and our hearts open.
I'm so grateful. It's been such a hard time. I've been having such a hard time with, like, you know, like balancing all the energies, like divine masculine, divine feminine, and bringing that into harmony, because it's just been like, it's always been, and I know like that was also intentional and part of the initiation, but I've experienced it very just like extreme, like very extreme yin, very extreme yang. You know what I'm saying? And just like back and forth, back and forth. It's just like, so we could bring it together, but just allowing it to come together and harmony and embodiment and like presence. I'm just like, oh my God, like it's like, and part of that was just like, oh, just all of it, you know what I mean? But being an individual, like that was something that I had very, because when you're in like the very yin of it all, I had a hard time with that part of myself, like the masculine part, like, you know what I mean? Like I was so into the feminine, like, oh, the masculine, like you're a human being. You know what I mean? You are experiencing individuation. You are somewhat an individual. You have your unique, and I had a really difficult time with that, because I was just like so used to just like, let's just be non-physical and like, let's be in the ether. But so thank you. That's very profound. I really appreciate that.
And I think too, just kind of touching back what we talked about in some of our conversations is
right.
Even the spiritual journey.
Yes.
You know, to kind of embrace what that is and accept what that is and what that should feel like, look like, present itself, can be a journey in itself.
Yes. You know, I'm having thank you for sharing. Thank you for that, because I'm having a moment of gratitude, just like gratitude. Okay, sorry, not sorry, but ooh. Okay. Just gratitude for the experience of like polarity.
Yeah.
You know, because we have such a hard time with that coming into the field and like in our awakening, and it can be very difficult and challenging, but just having gratitude for both, for the masculine and feminine, for polarity, for the yin and the yang, you know what I'm saying, for the differences, for contrast, you know, so it's very soul enriching. And I'm thankful.
Yeah. As you were speaking, I was seeing the chalice and the balance, like as the, you know, this image that they were showing, bringing the divine feminine, the divine masculine, right?
Right.
And creating that, allowing that movement, that connection. And it's almost like those waters, those sacred waters within us, on the lands, the water, everything has water in it. And that frequency becomes that and creates that. It's really interesting, because they're showing me now water and touching the water and the ripples of the water. And to be in balance is to sit into that stillness and connect to that water. Wow. I don't know. I just kind of went off on it. It was really interesting because when you were speaking, they were showing the divine feminine, divine masculine aspects coming into one. And then they were showing how important, or the focus, the emphasis on the divine harmony.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you.
And the ripple. That's where they showed the water and the chalice as us.
I love that.
Our effect outwardly. And it's the echo out into the cosmos. This is why it's so important that we need to know that we are a part of that.
Yes. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Yes, on so many levels, and I really appreciate that because, well, first of all, water has been obviously like that's just been I've been like obsessed with lately. So, and I know you talk about water all the time, which I love. But I've really been just with that, sitting with that and appreciating that. But also like the idea of like the balance and the harmony is like that's basically essentially how we are to and are creating heaven on earth. That's how we are doing it. Like that's how we are bringing it all, how it all comes together. It's like, okay, like the embodiment. And it's almost like, oh, thank you. That's so sweet. It's like bringing us back because we haven't always been this way. We haven't always experienced reality in such distortion and separate. You know what I'm saying? We there again, so like calling us back to like Lemuria and like those realities, those energies. There's and the timelines where we were balanced and harmony and we are reorienting, we are restructuring. Yes, we had a moment of, you know, as we do microcosm, macrocosm, we do that even in our daily lives. We have moments where we're not in alignment. We on a grand, global, collective soul, everything this is the moment we are, you know, the inhale, exhale, we are coming back into alignment. We are coming back into resonance. We are coming back into love and, you know, flow and harmony. So like, okay, wow, like bring it all back together, all back together. Like reel it in, you know, like Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah, like the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. It's like a sacred map within us. The star map in the sky is the sacred star map within us. We are that sacred knowledge. Arand oriatia satarish I was really
party, like celebrate the party. It's a celebration. We are bringing the timelines, the higher timelines on the planet.
Yeah, and I think it requires us
Yes.
to take some time to really nourish all aspects of self.
Oh my goddess, thank you so much. You know, as you were saying that, really the word that just came in was just like, which is funny, because maybe I have stigma around it, but like the idea or the energy of like patience. And you know, I don't like to hear that word sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, is that even a thing? You know what I'm saying? But it's true. Like it is a journey, it's a process. So maybe things do take time. And I know a lot of us want things to happen just like instant, blah, blah. And I get that, we get that. But like in the here and now, that might not be always what it is. Maybe we do have to just experience that idea of flow of the journey and the process of initiation and like everything that, you know what I'm saying? Everything.
Yeah.
Even overcoming everything. Yeah. Weird.
I think too, it's really important to know that it's the balance between choosing, you know, how we're going to direct our energy, but it's also the balance between letting go and surrender.
Thank you. I think that's where that comes in, you know, just that awareness and understanding and being present, just presence, just being present.
Deep presence to kind of like, and I always say like, you know, what's happening, you know what, like what we were talking about before I pressed record,
Right.
is everything that was happening today. I stepped back and I went for a walk and I'm like, this is not happening to me. I am changing this outcome. There's no resistance around this. I'm going to allow the energy to move through. This disruption is a part of my whole pattern and conditioning. Let the energy run through. And so it will things can process and move forward. And because I witnessed that, being the observer of the reality that I was currently in, shifting that, bringing it to a deeper state of awareness, and sure enough, things moved. And I think, you know, what you were saying about be present, when you be in that, you have the opportunity to shift and bring great change. And I think that's what's so important, that level of deep awareness for us all to witness. If we were to do that together collectively, the change that we would bring on the planet through the animals, the lands, great change.
But we are bringing, yes, exactly. Thank you. Again, thank you. And it's just like, yes, the acceptance and the allowance, and I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier as well, as far as like, remember, like that's what the guys were saying. It's like, remember, you guys, like you're going through a transformation. You're going through something. Like, so like what you were sharing about your experience up until this call, like that was part of the transformation. So by you accepting and allowing it to happen, it's like, okay, I'm not going to hold on to that. I'm not going to be attached to the energy. I'm just going to like let it move through, because you knew and saw, I was like, okay, like that's part of like that old whatever, or that structure, whatever, that's just being processed and let go. And that's all it is. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that, because the guides would like us to remember that, you know, and just so we can keep allowing that to energies to keep moving, keep it moving.
I'm hearing them say that it's the sacred spiral. Right?
Yeah.
We can either choose, it's true, you can either choose to spiral in whatever frequency.
That part, exactly. Right. And we can make it so much easier on ourselves if we just let it happen. Instead of like being stuck on it and then trying to like control it or whatever. I don't even know if this will make sense to some people, because maybe it won't, but like, and from the way that I understand everything to be, it's just like, just let it go. You know what I mean? It's just like, let it go. I don't know. Like if things are happening in a way that you're not like maybe enjoying or preferring or whatever, just like let it be and just allow it to, I don't know, just allow it to happen. I don't know if that even makes sense. Does that make sense? I mean, you just experienced it, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to make it in a way like maybe most people will understand if they, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think again, being the witness to what is unfolding, right, understanding that and then letting it go. Like, why attach to it? Why hold on to it? Only to cause the density in your body and the stories to continue of this happened to me. I can't believe it. Right? So what can you do to bring change to this? And part of it is what you were saying, is letting go. Like, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to offer it up.
So thank you. This is the perfect segue. So this energy, this initiation of letting go and the practice. And I was like, okay. So I was going through all these things, and like this was a big thing for me that just happened, like also in line with all the energies that we've been experiencing. A girl, Lionsgate girl. Plays no games, I swear to God. But so this idea of the energy of lack and abundance, okay? So like what is that? What is lack? Okay. Where does that come? How like to understand that? How do we work with that? What is that? So the guides were saying a lot of times human beings have this idea, we put a lot of emphasis on the external world, on external reality. And we put a lot of our energy in that, and we think in our mind, in the human mind, what we try to do is, so we feel the lack inside, But what we do is we go outside to try to somehow mitigate that. But the guys were saying it's like it literally comes from within. There is no way you can go outside of yourself to heal or to nurture something that's actually from within. So what do we have to do? We literally, it's again, so this has to be do with being sovereign and independent, whatever. But like we are fully responsible for all of our heart. So being happy no matter what, that is literally our gift to ourselves. So being in gratitude, like that's what we do. That's how we let go. You know what I'm saying? Being happy, being thankful, like, and realizing it's like, okay, let's just talk about something that's a lot of people are experiencing, financial energy. That's fine. If you're going through something financially, that doesn't mean you cannot be in gratitude. Okay, at the same time, like yes, there might, but that's the gift. It's like, okay, you know what? How could I still be in my heart? Because we have to be in. And that money and getting that $1,000, $1 million, whatever, that's not essentially like for a moment, you'll have that moment of instant gratification and like relief, but that's not filling that hole. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not filling that emptiness. And it's not gonna matter. Like so just being in gratitude no matter what, I feel like that's such a very significant, like that's such a significant and profound thing, like we have to like, you know, manage, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like being in our heart and just being open and being present and being centered no matter what. And that's our gift to ourselves. And like and realizing that and understanding that, for me, I just felt so much gratitude and relief. I was like, oh my God, like I'm literally free. Like, because personally, like I did that. I was like, oh, the outside. And I would be so stressed out about what was happening on the outside. And I was like, I was tired. I was over it. I was like, I don't want to be overwhelmed because of this energy out here or this energy out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired. I just want to be happy. And it's like, you be happy. And I was like, oh my God, I can't be happy. You know what I mean? So I just went into gratitude. And in that moment, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, talking about the frequency of money doesn't, you know, it's if you feel deserving of receiving it. If you don't feel deserving of receiving XYZ,
right,
then that frequency, right, it will deliver how you feel. So, you know what you're saying, being in that
gratitude, be happy. Thank you. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. That is the frequency. Shirut urut ushirat arat aniki. Rushurut urut ushirat arat ashirut urut ushi. Rarat anirat ashik irut urut ushirat arat aniki. Shik irat ashik iki shikirat ashiki. Thank you. So thank you. That is literally it. That is so I felt so, that's what I'm saying. So like I was like, oh my God, like it's such a big deal. Like I get it now. Like I understand. Like for myself, like that's the lack, and we know we live in a holographic reality. Mm-hmm. So if you're in lack, that is exactly what we're going to get. That's how we're going to experience. So by coming into gratitude, being centered and knowing like you're awesome, amazing, and love and happy, and you could be happy no matter what is going on circumstantially, that's when you're in the frequency of love and grace and gratitude and everything. That's when we can let the energies to come in and allow those, you know, everything of who we are to come through and to be experienced. Because again, we're the masters. You know what I'm saying? Like we are the co-creators. We are creating all of that is. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be thankful.
And I'm also hearing, thank you for that. I'm also hearing that we need to listen to ourselves and ask ourselves what we need instead of pushing. You know, that's something that I and I can, when they brought that through, I'm like, yeah, because I often get that reminder of what do you need right now, Jen? What does your body need? Does it need more water? Does it need more rest? Does it need more of this in order for you to truly feel that? Because how can you be in a state of that when you're depleted? And I think way too often, a lot of us just push ourselves.
Exactly. That's a big one.
To the point of, exhaustion, and then expect everything to flow when energetically we're not there.
Self-care is literally like the prerequisite. Like,
Self-care is self-love, right? Self-care is self-love. It's part of the essence, I always say.
Exactly. And it starts within. Ooh, yay. I love that. That's such a beautiful, such beautiful messages from spirit and the universe and all that. Like, I'm so grateful like that we had this moment, this conversation, because like this was such a big deal. These are things that I would like to further explore and emphasize and share. Obviously, I'm going to be doing as much as I can. I want to do as much as I can to bring all these energies forth, because I'm getting to the point now where I'm just really anchoring it in, and really like listening and allowing like everything like we've shared and experienced. Like, I'm really just like, okay, like that truth and that understanding. I'm just like, okay, like just bringing it in and just like letting it flow, and move through me. Like I could, because again, it wasn't an easy road, well, not for me. And then I understand, and for many.
Well, you know my story. Shall we do an activation?
Woo! Yeah.
Okay.
That was the puna in me. Oh yeah.
So how do you want to do this? Just go back and forth? I know I don't have any water or anything right now. I'm just like parched.
Oh, really? You want to go get some? Oh, did you say you're thirsty? Did you say you didn't have any water?
Yeah, I need some water.
Go get some water.
Yeah. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Right.
You can keep talking if you want.
Right. So I'm like, aloha, everyone. Hi, my name is June. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining the conversation, and being open to receiving these codes and these activations. I'm so grateful and blessed and honored to be here with our sister Jen and her gorgeous, beautiful cosmic Lemurian self. And so so we're gonna go ahead and do some activations and bring in some codes, and again, all very relevant to everything that we've already shared and discussed, I imagine. I don't know, but just letting all this stuff to come in from, see what's coming in from the guides and our team, from our higher selves.
Thank you.
Whew. Okay. Well, so shirut urut u nirat a shi iki. Rurut urut u shirat arat a nirat a shi iki. Rut urut u shirat a rarat a nirut u shirat arat a niki. Shirut urut u shi iki rat arat a nirat a shirat a shi. Shirat a shi.
Arandoriatia satar in or ar it ar ust araya. Barat un ar it ar isht ar it on ar it at ar. And or rut usta. Amarat od ar it ar rut ut usta. And ar rut un a. Arat at it ar rit ut usta. Aran I ar ut un ar it ar isht arita. Or usta.
Shiring rurut urut u nirat a shirut urut u shi iki. Rarat arat anirot ushirat arat anirat ashiki. Rurut ushiki. Rut ushiki. Rat arat ashinirot ushiki. Rurut urut unirat ashirat arat arat anirat ashiki. Rut urut unirat ashirat arat anirat ashiki. Rut ushiki.
If you want to just, everyone, just take a deep breath in and out. I'm being shown a crystalline heart. Visualize yourself in the center of this and just see the healing ray move around in a clockwise direction on the outside of the sphere. Arandoriatia satar ushtariatar onayakiato rutunya. On the base of your feet, begin to feel, see, sense, or imagine pulse, vibration, sacred geometries as they rise, as this spin continues. Arandoriatia satar ishtatio koryanyaka rituna ritia sata rishtam nyukoriatia sata iar anyukoriastaya.
There you go. Just just releasing, letting go all that reserves, sending it out. Any distortions. Shirut arat aniki, shirut yes, separation, shirut all code, shirut structures, shirut arat aniki, nirat just allowing all this love, this new, this energy, shirut arat aniki, shikirat ashi, and the idea and the frequency of the infinite, shirut bringing that in, shirat and allowing all the energies and the crystalline codes, the frequencies and the realities to permeate through your being, in the gift of love, in awareness, consciousness, and presence. Ooh, wow. Ooh. Yes, thank you. So you are unique, you are love, you're amazing, you're powerful, you are abundance. Ooh. Yes, bring that in, bring that in. Anchor, 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 anchor. Yes. Ooh. Oh. And so it is. And so it is. Ooh,
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. I love you all so much. So grateful. Thank you. That was, wow.
Shall we do an introduction?
Well, you know, it's funny, like, I don't know if this could even be edited or if I had no idea like how we were gonna go forward with this. Like I was like, are we gonna just say bye and then stop recording and like, or how you know?
We can close and then introduce and then do it different. Is that what you would like?
I mean, you know, I don't know how you would like. Yeah. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter now because we've already been talking. You know, what I mean? It doesn't matter. All I
This
know
is how we flow. We just like went into it.
But yeah. Do you have like editing software, or I mean, I think I could. I mean, you're gonna send me the recording, right? So
yeah.
I mean, I can edit it. I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, we could definitely do an introduction, 100,000%. So, and we could do an outro and an intro if you want.
Okay, so do you want to do that now on this?
Yeah. So we're recording. Are you able to?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, my brain turns into mush. You know.
Well, we can close this off and then do an intro, like a separate intro, and then add it. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
close it off. So we're just gonna take out that moment, and then we'll just.
Yeah, and just in deep gratitude, we just thank everyone for connecting and feeling called to join the call with us. And is there anything that you want to?
Just love and gratitude. Thank you to everyone that's being open and open to receiving, allowing this energy to come forth, to come through, and for just being. Thank you guys so much for being here. Words cannot express love and gratitude. Every moment.
And sharing too, like please share in the comments, because I feel like we learn from each other. We are each other's mirrors. So the more that you can share, you know, it just brings more light and awareness into each other's hearts. Yeah. Because and too, right, we were saying you don't have to do this alone. Like we
are not alone. And yeah, so if you would like to, I guess if you'd like to work with any of us more closely or do one-on-one sessions, one-on-one work, you could find me at so I'm June. You can find me at junejunmagnificent.com, JUNJUNMAGNIFICENT.com. And whatever, I offer light codes, activation sessions, even jewelry, organized stuff like that. And how about you, sis?
Ooh, I didn't know that you offer jewelry. We should chat.
Yeah, I make little organized amulets and pet amulets.
Oh yes, we're gonna chat after.
Okay.
So we're gonna chat because.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there could be a little co-creation in it too.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, if you are feeling called to dive a little bit deeper, I always ask for you to set up a 15-minute clarity call to see what it is that your soul is feeling called to do, whether it's a one-on-one session, an activation, healing. It's really important for me to take that time to really connect to the individual. So I can be found on Instagram at jennifer.glendenning. Also my website, jenniferglendenning.com. I will we'll place the links below because
all the links will be.
It's a long name. And as well, I also do activations, codes, sacred codes, for your soul's evolution. So yes, and we found each other, and it's just so lovely to to be in this space with you all. So thank you so
Thank you
much.
all so much. We love you. I love you. Aloha and namaste. Take care.
Bye, guys.